My name is Alonso Martinez, and what I do at Pixar is help create the characters that you see on screen. And so what that actually means is I get a bunch of drawings. I get a bunch of drawings that are in 2D, and they're drawings of the character. And what the artists are doing, they're just trying to capture the essence. And I'll give you an example. The beauty about animated movies is that you get to take real life and really exaggerate it. And the best example, my favorite example of work that I've been involved in is Carl from Up. Yeah.
Clearly a favorite.
And so, I mean, he's so great because he's designed like a box. Because he's meant to, he's a symbol. Every single character is a symbol for who they are and what they're supposed to represent. And Carl is a box because he's supposed to be like boxed in his own emotions, and he's kind of jailed in his own emotions. And Russell is the shape of an egg because he's the symbol for new life coming into him. And this idea of a symbol and a metaphor and an exaggeration is one of the reasons why we do these things in animation as opposed to in film. You know, you could have made the Good Dinosaur in like Jurassic Park style, you know, but the reason why we did it in that exaggerated type of a way is because we wanted to have notes of like the Midwest. And notes of like cowboys and America and all of that beautiful terrain. We wanted to take that and we wanted to like mix it with something else, which was dinosaurs. And so you have these like cowboy dinosaurs that instead of walking like a regular T-Rex, they kind of gallop. And so these shapes make themselves into the character designs. Like Butch is a very different design than Arlo in that the shape language for Butch is a lot of straight lines. It's a very graphic character, a lot of angles, and it's funny because when we look at like which one of these two shapes would you rather touch? Right? The bottom one, right? Mm-hmm. And it's funny how when we make character designs, I would say that that this top one, this line is Butch and this line is Arlo. So one of them is very soft and kind of like pudgy and kind of innocent and young looking, and the other one is slightly dangerous. And in Butch, you can see that you can see all of the angles in his teeth, in his body. I'm really liking this background music. It's inspiring. And so this is the body. And so I worked on this character for about, I think it was about 9 months, I believe.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So is it bikini?
So things that I don't do, that I should explain is, I don't do the texture, but I do the sculpture, and then I give the character the ability to move. So I create the puppet inside of the computer that the animators can then grab my puppet and kind of move it around and act through my puppet. And so I spend. I really am a perfectionist, and when we make these characters, the teeth, you know, like there's so much detail to them. Like I would zoom in into each single tooth, and it's really interesting that you get a piece of clay. You get a piece of clay and you give it to me, and I can make it look. I can make a sculpture of something that looks like a marshmallow, right? And that looks very soft, and it's clay. Yeah, it's hard, but I can make it look like a marshmallow, you know, or I can make a piece of clay look like steel, or I can make a piece of clay look like bone, like very like sharp ankles, or I can make it look like broken glass, right? And all of these are kind of like different material properties, and so for this character, I'm always thinking about like for this tooth, what has it been used for? You know, what's the history of each tooth, and how did it get its scars? How did it get its wear and tear? And I think that it's that level of detail, that level of obsession, and thinking about the like where this character was and where he is now, that I think that the audience subconsciously picks up on all of these details, and it just feels very, very real. Like, that you understand that there's a history to this character, and so we build a character, and then we do these tests where we're like running it through the range of emotions just to make sure that they're going to be able to deliver the acting performance that the animators require. And so it's interesting because, I mean, here he's not acting. You know, he's not acting. He's just going through different kind of like facial ranges, and once that's like good, we start working on dialogue just to make sure that the director gets to test out. I'm pretty sure that this is the voice for this character, and in this case, it was Sam Elliott, right?
Yeah.
Which is a fantastic voice. As soon as I found out that it was, because we don't know at the beginning who the voice is going to be, and I found out halfway through being done with this character that it was going to be Sam Elliott, and I was just like, this is going to be the best. And so this is.
Where do you stand? You running for the man? You're running scared.
And so this is really neat to be like getting to show you guys, because this is like a real awesome sneak peek as to like stuff that people really never get to see. Like, this is not on like bonus DVDs. This is not anywhere else. It's at Pixar. We have like a gallery that we display all the awesome work that went into making this movie, but you like can't record anything. So it's a real treat to be able to show you guys. And so this is how animators play with it. They get to just grab the foot and kind of like move it around and change the shape of things and like open up the jaw and like play around with the mouth corners and then go into the tongue and start posing the tongue. So I was telling this funny story about how these characters, I mean, it's so fun, right? Like, you can like get your mouse, you can like click on his arm and you can like move it around, and it feels like you're grabbing a real physical object. And I remember I've been at Pixar for about 8 years, but I remember being in training as a new hire. And I remember they were showing us how to use the software and how to play with these puppets. And I started kind of like snooping around a little bit. I was like, oh, I'm gonna go inside of like old movies. And I remember I opened up, it was Woody from Toy Story, right? And he just comes in like this. And I remember like grabbing his hand and being like, nice to meet you.